Now we're going to simplify a question that has multiple operations associated with it. What you need to know if there is more than one operation is that you have to follow BEDMAS, but because we're dealing with monomials, there will not be any addition or subtraction. So it's really just BEDM. Simplify what's inside the bracket first, then deal with anything that has an exponent, then multiplication and division in the order you see it. But the important thing is, with the multiplication and division, you have to completely simplify the numerator and denominator before dividing them. So the numerator will have all multiplication, the denominator will have all multiplication, and then you simplify the two of them. So the first thing that we have to do is to simplify everything inside of the bracket. Now inside the bracket, we have to simplify the numerator first. So in the numerator, in between there is multiplication, in between there is multiplication, but this term here has an exponent. So we have to simplify this term first with this exponent. Now, right there is the coefficient, and that is an exponent. So 2 to the exponent 3 would give you 8. Then the exponent on the b and the exponent on the outside, those will multiply. So remember, coefficient of 2 gets an exponent of 3, but an exponent of 2 would multiply with an exponent of 3. So in your first step, keep the brackets. The negative 3a to the 7 stays where it is. That 2b squared to the 3 becomes 8b to the 6. And the 4a to the 7 stays where it is. And on the bottom, again, you have an exponent. So the coefficient is 2. The exponent is 4. So 2 to the exponent 4 is 16. And then for the a's, the exponent of 3 multiplies with the exponent of 4. So that would be a to the 12. And for the b's, you want to remember when the exponent isn't showing, it's an exponent of 1. So the exponent of 1 will multiply with the exponent of 4. So that would be b to the 4. And then you still have an exponent of 2 on the outside. So the first step inside the brackets is to do any of the terms that have an exponent. The second step, if you have a bracket, is to simplify all of the numerators. In the numerator, it's all multiplication. And in multiplication, you're going to multiply the coefficients. So negative 3 times 8 times 4 is negative 96. Then for the a's, you're going to add the exponents. So the exponent of 7, that does not have a base of a. This base of a has an exponent of 7. So when you add the exponents on the a's, 7 plus 7 is 14. So that's a to the 14. Then the b, there's only one b in the numerator, so it just keeps an exponent of 6. The denominator, there were no operations left in the denominator, so it just stays 16a12b4. And you still have that exponent of 2 on the outside. The next step is to divide the numerator and the denominator. So when you divide, you're going to be dividing the coefficients. So negative 96 divided by 16 is negative 6. So this is what we're doing here. We're dividing these terms. And for the a's, we're going to be subtracting the exponents. For the a's, same base of a. This exponent is 14. This exponent is 12. So when you subtract those exponents on the a's, you get a to the 2. And for the b's, this b has an exponent of 6. This b has an exponent of 4. So when you subtract those exponents, you get b to the 2. And all of this still has that exponent of 2 on the outside. And the very last thing you're going to do is that exponent on the outside. So here again, you want to remember this coefficient of -6 gets an exponent of 2. So -6 to the exponent 2 means -6 times -6, which is -36. For the a's, an inside exponent gets multiplied with an outside exponent. So that would become a to the 2 times 2, which is 4. And the same with the b's. The inside exponent is 2 and the outside exponent is 2. So that would be an exponent of 4. So inside the bracket, the first thing you want to make sure you do is the exponent. Anything with an exponent, that's an exponent. So anything with an exponent you do first. Then you multiply the numerators. And if you have to multiply the denominators, then you would do that as well. Then the division, which is the numerator divided by the denominator. And then now you have simplified all of the work inside the bracket. So now you can do that exponent on the outside of the bracket. So that would be the very most challenging question you get. Most of the questions you'll get won't be as hard as that one.